Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you would never ask, Heidi. It's Thursday, February the 10th. Today is National Cream Cheese Brownie Day. That sounds really good.
Oh, that sounds
National
very good.
Home Warranty Day, National Umbrella Day, and National Giving Hearts Day. So I bet that's because we're leading up to Valentine's Day. Everybody's giving each other hearts, so you can probably start that now, apparently. Also, speaking of giving somebody your heart, my Dear John letter today is about a young man who's ready to ask the big question. He's in love. He's head over heels in love. But
Aww.
I don't think his idea is a good idea. He wants to propose with a ring he bought for somebody else. Oh, we're going to chat about that. It's our Dear John letter. It was also posted earlier this week, and there are people who have advice on this. If you happen to have some advice, you can certainly chime in if you'd like at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. According to a study published recently in the Journal of PLOS One, climate change will make it much harder to grow Arabica coffee in the coming years.
Okay.
According to the projections from several global climate models, coffee plants will be drastically less suitable for cultivation in current coffee-producing regions by the year 2050. Arabica coffee in particular, which is what's used by Starbucks and other major coffee sellers, is already a finicky crop that requires specific conditions to flourish. The authors of the study conclude that climate change adaptation will be necessary in most major producing regions, not just for coffee, but for cashews and avocados as well. This could include breeding new varieties, and in the case of coffee, it might also mean switching to Robusta trees, which are hardier, but produce beans considered to be of lower quality than Arabica beans.
Or maybe you find the new region where they will grow and flourish, and maybe that's God's divine plan to keep soil rich in new areas.
Hey, did I ask you,
No,
Heidi?
you didn't.
You're not doing the study. This is surveys and studies and such, brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for Did You Know? Brought to you by gmdvacations.com. Heidi, did you know the Winter Olympics typically move from one chilly destination to another every 4 years? But a new study says the games could be forced to be held at the same place every time. Scientists at the University of Waterloo say it's going to be increasingly difficult to find suitable locations for the Olympics if global warming advances.
Good Lord.
Second story today about that. If greenhouse gas emissions continue at the current levels, only one of 21 prior Winter Olympic host cities would be suitable for future Winter Olympic Games by the end of the century. Researchers believe that if nations reach their Paris Climate Agreement emissions ratings, there will be 8 climate-reliable host cities within that same time frame. So they're saying 1 if they don't, but 8 if they do. So if you want to read all the details, you can find those online. That is, Did You Know? It's brought to you by gmdvacations.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Eternals didn't see the success that Marvel Studios hoped for during its global, worldwide theater run last year. On top of premiering during a pandemic, the film was also hammered with mixed reviews from both critics and fans. Eternals is now available to stream on Disney+. Set a record for the streaming service, by the way. It was streamed by 2 million households during the first 5 days. That broke a record for most streams by a Marvel movie in the first 5 days of release. But in all fairness, it was also one of the first Marvel movies to be released on the platform. So I got a feeling that'll be broken eventually. Entertainment industry is once again contemplating a break from production due to COVID. They're talking about the new variant and how that could be affecting things. Looking to see here. Ticket to Paradise, starring George Clooney and Julia Roberts. Film tells the tale of a divorced couple who have to rush to Indonesia. Bali is where they're going, actually, to stop their daughter from making the same mistake they did 25 years ago.
Okay.
But production is paused because of a spike in COVID cases in the area where they're filming. So, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Ford and ADT, the home security company, working jointly on something called Canopy. It will eventually let you monitor your car remotely. In a promotional video, a potential thief scopes out items in the open truck bed of a carpenter.
Oh.
Who, from afar, is able to watch the thief look in his truck bed, eyeing power tools to potentially steal. The carpenter is able to press his screen and say, "Hey, get away from my truck." And that's set to a speaker in the truck, and some lights are also activated. And that spooks the potential thief, who walks away. The carpenter grins, having averted a possible theft.
I'm sure
thanks
that's
to
exactly
Canopy.
how that would go down.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what would happen, but that's their thing. And this story makes me smile, but I don't know. I don't know if this is the way it should have ended. Here's how it starts. A 19-year-old kid set up a Twitter account tracking billionaire Elon Musk's jet.
Right. I heard about this, actually.
So this 19-year-old kid was then offered $5,000 from the richest man in the world, Elon Musk. He said, "Hey, if you want to shut that account down, I don't really necessarily think it's a good idea for you guys to be tracking my jet." And then the kid goes, "Well, that's not enough to compensate for the satisfaction I get from running the account." Musk tweeted last month the social media accounts discussed his whereabouts, where becoming a security issue. He thinks that maybe that's not so great.
I kind of agree with that, actually.
In the Twitter conversation, viewers, reported by Jack Sweeney, gave technical advice on how a billionaire could make his jet less trackable. After Musk's offer of $5,000 to this 19-year-old, Sweeney asked if there's any chance to up that to $50,000. I guess it doesn't hurt to ask. The 19-year-old said that,
nerve.
"Hey, I've done a lot of work, and, $5K is just not enough." Musk said, "Let me think about it, a counteroffer." But then he later said, "You know what? I don't feel right paying you to shut down an account."
Yeah, he'd
Here's what the
rather just pay the experts to make his plane untrackable, and then his account is worthless.
And also, nobody else can do it either. But here's what the kid should have done. He should have said, "Hey, Elon, I'm glad I got your attention. If I can do this, get the richest man in the world's attention, imagine what I could do working for your company. I'll shut it down for free. Let's go to work together." That's what he should have done. He's 19, though. He didn't do that. Still, interesting story. Your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you pack out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
It's time right now for Dear John Letters.
Dear John, dear John.
All right, I'm excited to see what Heidi has to say. I've already seen some of the comments on Facebook. I would love to see what you have to say as well, so you'll be able to chime in with our Dear John letter. Dear John, I've been dating my girlfriend for a few years. We met before the pandemic, and we spent every single day on the phone for about a year. We've been together now every day over the last year. I'm thinking of asking her to marry me on Valentine's Day. I know I'm ready, and I'm positive she's the one. We get along so well. I think the daily phone calls for the first year actually helped us grow closer. I have a weird question, though. I have a ring that I bought over 10 years ago. I was young and stupid and thought I was in love. I proposed to my high school sweetheart right before she left for college. That ended in a big fat no. I already have that ring, but my mom said I should get a different ring. Does it matter? I thought you guys might be able to tell me if this sounds like a bad idea. Signed, Head Over Heels in Love. Well, I'm going to just sit aside and let Heidi yell at you for a second.
You do not use a ring that you bought for another woman. It's totally okay to take that ring into a pawn shop or whatever and get cash for it and purchase something new, but it's got to be something you selected just for the girl that you've decided you want to marry.
Now, are there ever any exceptions where it is okay? So listen to me. What if it's like a ring that's been in the family? Now, would that be a different thing where I'm proposing this was my grandmother's ring and it was my parents' ring?
That's a different story.
Okay, so I'm just saying, I want to make sure.
But if he had already tried to give that ring to another girl,
okay, yeah.
That's no.
So, but I'm asking, just because I want to make sure we're on the record here, if that it's like a family heirloom, you don't go pawn that.
No, but then you have to go and buy a ring and get her something different.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
I guarantee, I mean, you're happy with her. Do you want to stay happy with her? Because someday she's going to find out that you gave her a ring that you bought for a different girl.
Yeah, it's a bad idea. And it says, I have a ring that I bought over 10 years ago. So it doesn't sound like this is a family heirloom. But I'm merely putting that out there because I want to make sure, there are times you can give a used ring. And when I say used ring, it sounds bad. That would be a ring with, sentimental value. That's sentimental value. That's not...
Correct.
Hey, I bought this for somebody else that told me no.
Exactly.
Will you tell me yes? So that's probably a bad plan. Here's the thing that I would do, though. I would, like Heidi said, probably go and trade this in. Whether you sell it yourself, if you sell it to a jewelry store, if you sell it to a place that buys gold, if you sell it to a place that does the pawn thing, somebody somewhere, there is a market for you to sell that ring.
Yes.
You're not going to get from it how much you paid for it. You're just not.
No.
It's not going to happen. And you're not going to get from it how much you probably want to pay for a new ring, depending on what you want to pay. But I would tell you this. We just watched, what is the thing called? What Would You Do? I was having my wife watch a video, and it was the show from TV but it was a lady with a little itty-bitty tiny ring, and then her friends were like mocking her for having a tiny engagement ring. And then it was, how would people respond to that?
Right.
And I loved how people responded because they're saying it's not the size of the ring, it's the size of the love.
Right.
And who cares if you start out with a starter ring? So in his mind, he might be going, well, I want to be able to have something really nice. If you can't afford everything, that's okay. At the end of the day, it's not about the ring. It's about how much you love her, and it's about, starting. But don't start with a used ring.
No.
It would be better to start with a smaller ring, I think, that, hey, I'm going to go trade this in. I'm going to get something different, but it's going to be, a ring that I didn't already give to somebody else.
And honestly, if you think about it, 10 years ago, right out of high school, how much of a ring could he have possibly afforded then?
Who knows?
So it's probably not necessarily this ring was crazy expensive. It's just that he's already got it laid around and might as well use it.
Well, it's convenient.
That's not okay.
Since I already have it here.
That's not okay.
Since you happen to be with me in the truck, do you want to get married? Don't propose that way. That's the wrong way to do it. All right. So let me see if I have everything correct here. Get rid of that ring.
Get rid of that ring.
Get her own ring.
Yes.
And live happily ever after.
Exactly.
All right. I think we're on the same page.
And never mention that other ring ever again.
Hey, by the way, tomorrow happens to be our anniversary.
It does.
I proposed to my beautiful bride 22 years ago today.
22 years.
22 years ago today, I proposed to you. Did you know that? It was the day before our wedding.
Yes, it was the day before our wedding.
Because she pointed out to me that I never proposed, so I finally did. The day before our wedding, I said, hey, will you marry me? And she said yes. So,
which was a good thing, because we were there for our wedding.
It was with a ring I had not given to anyone else. If you'd like to chime in on our Dear John letter, you can do that at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The hormone that makes you grow is only produced when you sleep. That's why our son is so tall.
Yeah, he
Our
does
son
get plenty of sleep.
sleeps a lot. A lot. And he's 6'3", almost 6'4".
That's what I was just going to say. To be fair, he had a bunch of really rapid growth spurts, and that makes you exhausted.
Oh, yeah. So maybe that's why. It's what comes first. Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Falling in love has a similar neurological effect as cocaine.
Really?
So because I'm so in love with you, it almost feels like I'm on cocaine, according to this thing. I don't know what that cocaine is like, but I know what being in love is like, so apparently I do. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In spite of the urban legend, ducks' quacks do echo. So if you ever heard a duck's quack doesn't echo, it does.
Okay.
And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Bubble gum contains rubber. A little bit of it, but it's in there.
Okay.
Couple of fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, RadioTravelGroup.com presents a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline Russia. A Russian artist has been arrested for creating a snow sculpture near a burial site in Petersburg.
Oh.
Ivan Volkov was criminally charged for desecrating the burial place of the dead when he created this sculpture. It was 16 feet long, and it resembled feces.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
I don't know if being arrested was necessary, but he could have certainly said, hey, you know what? No, just get rid of that.
That's rude.
Bust that up. So it was at a cemetery burial site, and he made a
that's
16-foot
nasty.
feces sculpture. So I don't know why he did it, but he's a kid, man. I don't know. Just seems weird. That is your, what is that again? Oh, yeah, a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Time now for some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Somebody paid $71,500 for a 1976 AMC Pacer. You can find those cars for much, much less than that. But it's not just any Pacer.
Was it from the movie?
Yes.
Wayne's World?
Exactly the one. The 1992 movie Wayne's World featured this exact same Pacer.
That's totally worth it.
Despite its distinctive design, the Pacer is often called one of the ugliest cars that has ever come out of America. People are not a big fan at this hatchback.
Right. Came
out during the height of the malaise era. But clearly, its movie connections were enough to rocket the bidding into Corvette territory. Wow. You might remember seeing this scene-stealing appearance in the movie as rock music-loving buds Wayne and Garth and their friends perform a little rousing sing-along to Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody as they drive through their hometown of Aurora, Illinois.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I would buy that vehicle.
But $71,000?
Well, if I had that kind of money sitting around,
if
probably
you did, I would tell you no. So just so you know. That is some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Time now for The List, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. We have Valentine's Day sneaking right up.
Yes, we do.
It's just like a few days away now. So I have the worst opening lines for a Valentine card. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. With a few glaring exceptions, you're the most beautiful, or you're more beautiful than the day we met.
Whoa.
Oh, don't do that one. You make me so excited, I just can't hold my bladder. Wow.
Okay.
Like is such a highly underrated word. Worst opening lines for Valentine's cards. I want you like a dog wants a muscular leg. Wow.
Whoa.
I love the way you look, the way you clean, the way you cook. Oh, that's not nice. How do I love thee? Let me count the way.
Oh,
That's not nice. These are the worst opening lines for Valentine cards. So there you go. There's much better things. So I'll have some better stuff for you tomorrow, I promise. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. This quote is from Anonymous. Nobody wants to claim this one. So after I'm done, Heidi, if you like it, just say you said it.
Okay.
How's that sound? All right, Here we go. Your quote for today, potentially from Heidi Small. Common sense is like deodorant. The people who need it the most never use it.
That's true.
Do you like
I
that?
did say that. I liked it when I said it, and I like it still today.
You just go on the internet and change that.
I'm
Anonymous?
just going to claim that.
Not anymore. Heidi Small said that one. By the way, if you happen to find a quote somewhere that you really like and you go, hey, that should be the quote of the day, you can submit that to us. You know how much it costs to submit a quote, by the way?
Absolutely nothing.
I asked you. Do you know how much it costs?
I just told you.
Do you know how much it costs?
Yes, nothing.
You're supposed to say, how much?
How much, John?
It's absolutely nothing. Oh, you got ahead of me here.
Jeez.
All right, quote of the day. Again, you can submit yours at the bottom of the page at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of GMDvacations.com. This story is amazing. Mail carrier notices mail piling up and saves the resident's life.
I have heard of these things happening before, and it
so
is
great.
wonderful.
Yeah, USPS, that's the United States Postal Service mail carrier, Newmarket, New Hampshire, saved a woman's life. Kayla Barrage, there's a photo of her here. She looks like an absolute sweetheart. She said mail had been piling up for a couple of days at a resident's home, and her vehicle was still at the residence. I hadn't seen her in a while. I noticed her mail wasn't getting picked up. I got a little concerned. The woman, who's in her 80s, would sometimes chat with her. She called the police department for a welfare check. Officers found the woman trapped under some items that had fallen on her inside the bedroom. It was determined that she had been trapped on the floor for at least 3 days, possibly longer. The woman was taken to the hospital, diagnosed with hypothermia and dehydration. Her family said she is now stable and recovering well. Without a doubt, she saved this lady's life, the police say. That is part of being a letter carrier in a small town, taking your job to the next level.
Right.
She did a great job. End quote. I love that story. Now, I got to tell you something. I know several people who do that job. Mm-hmm. One of them happens to be my sister.
Yep.
I've got other relatives who did the same thing, and it is an amazing career. And they do get to know the people on their route. And the thing that's really sad is when you go from one route to another and you got to meet, it's like now you miss all the people you used to have.
Right.
Like we've had a mail carrier, Kevin, who was our guy. And then
We miss Kevin.
He went to a different route. We moved to be on his route. And then he moved to a different route. And we were like, hey, Kevin,
almost like he doesn't
what's
wanna-
your new route? We're going to move again. We weren't really tracking you down,
Kevin, if
Kevin.
you're listening, we miss you.
We weren't tracking you down. It was just funny that we did that, though. All right, we've got a link to this story if you want to read it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.